coaching should be quantitative as much as it is qualitative. One of the big problems I see a lot of companies make is that they may be proactively coaching their reps and giving feedback, but truly, how much are they actually measuring the impact of that on a daily or weekly basis? Let's imagine you've sat down, you've coached your reps on a specific part of their sales calls, but let's imagine how much of that feedback and that coaching session is remembered a week or even a month later. Is the salesperson actually being kept accountable to putting those things into practice? Are you setting yourself setting the rep goals and targets, or are they just kind of being forgotten about the moment that you walk out of that meeting room? One thing that we can truly measure is actually is data to make the qualitative become quantitative as well when we think about sales conversations. So one key way that we can do this with, for example, SDRs is looking at how much time they spend talking versus listening on their sales calls. We all know one of the big problems that a lot of salespeople have, and particularly with SDRs making cold calls, is that they are simply talking too much. They're pitching at the prospect rather than actually getting them engaged in a conversation. Now, in order for me to give some quantitative feedback and measurements to the salesperson, I need to actually see what that data looks like, take it away from being what I believe to be the case to what I know to be the case. So here's an example of where coaching can become quantitative, where I can see that near one of my SDRs here back in April, she was on average speaking 60% of the time on her cold calls. Fast forward to last month, her average had dropped to closer to 50%. This is actually being reflected in the amount of times the conversation is, on average, is switching on the conversations that she's having with prospects, where I can see that although she's having less switches backwards and forwards on her sales calls, she's actually having a bigger portion of her switches are what we call meaningful switches. In other words, where she's asking open questions that's getting the prospects to give more healthier, longer answers rather than closed questions which give shorter answers. So yeah, just really the importance of talking about coaching as a quantitative metric as well as qualitative.